This design is a little bit larger in scale. It's made in a glass container, but any container that's kind of low and short will work for this. I've made an armature that goes on the top, but attached it through a couple of willow branches that go underneath the lip of the vase. So it's attached here and then on the opposite side, and do that a couple of times. That allows you to get an armature that goes all the way across a large expanse. This is also a design that works quite nicely for short stemmed vases because there's not a lot of depth to it. This is great for your table, for a centerpiece or a dining table or a coffee table where you're looking down on it so that you get the perspective of seeing all the different textures and flowers that we're going to put into it. So I'm going to start by putting in the hydrangeas. So again, I'm going to trim most of the leaves off and use your armature as a support structure for the hydrangea, getting the stem down into the water. I'm going to cluster these two together. See that one? It's going to go very nicely right there. And then I'm going to put a couple more shorter stemmed hydrangeas over on the opposite side. Actually, I think I'll tuck this one underneath a little piece of willow right there. So the stem is slanting down into the water. And I have some hot pink zinnias. Again, I'm going to kind of use those in a outer edge, building up to the middle. White Lisianthus will make a nice contrast here with the red on this side. And I'm going to use primarily just the blossom and not the buds because I want this to stay kind of low. Again, I'm using the willow as my braces and support structure here. A little bit of contrast with the peppers. Again, you can see that I don't have to use stems that are very long. So when you're harvesting from outside, they don't have to be half of the bush that comes with it. a little bit of azalea foliage. I'm going to tuck that kind of down at the base. And some seafoam status. Keep working around the arrangement so that you don't get one side that's prettier than the other. Especially if this is a centerpiece, everybody has to have a nice view. So don't cheat anybody. Now, part of the concept of this arrangement is that it's not solid. So there's going to be breaks in this. Think of it kind of as a mosaic of color and a mosaic of textures. I've also got some oregano. So I can directly cut that. Of course, that adds a wonderful fragrance. Get that in the middle there. And then a couple of sword ferns. I'm going to use the sword fern and kind of swirl it around. And use my tendrils, wire. Oops, I need one more piece of bind wire, so I'll just clip a little one from here. Again, I want to keep the flow of the design smooth and rounded, so that's why we don't leave them sticking out. We want them to stay within the rhythm we've created. Making sure that your stems are going into the water. Finally, make sure your little bind wire ends are either clipped smooth and clean, or give them a little bit of a curl for the tendril sort of a feeling. So imagine this sitting on your coffee table and you're sitting on the sofa looking down into all of the depth and the contrast of textures. And so then here we have the finished design.